Alright, so this video, I am going to teach you one specific thing that I've learned from the ages that I've grown up in. I'm 24 now. My birthday was on the 9th of May, a few days ago. And now I'm 24 years old. I want to teach you one big lesson that I have learned throughout my lifetime. And that lesson is, things may not end up the way that you had planned it to go or the way that you envisioned it to go, but we can still, if you truly desire to, find a way to pursue those dreams or those goals in a different way. What I mean by this is, back when I was 15 years old, I had my first boxing match. From 15 years old onwards, my big dream and goal was to become one of the greatest boxers of all time. I was inspired by Muhammad Ali. I saw his interviews, I saw his fights, I saw the way he spoke, I saw his movies, everything like that, the one that when Will Smith played him. And I got inspired by his mentality, I got inspired by his words, I got inspired by his energy as a person, and I wanted to be like that. I pursued boxing. I had my first match at 15 years old, and up until I was 20 years old, I had 37 amateur fights in New Zealand. When I was 20 years old, I had decided to move on from boxing because I found out that working a full-time job and trying to be one of the best amateurs in New Zealand was a very difficult job, because you had to compete with people that weren't working and all they were doing was training 2 times a day, focusing on their sleep, focusing on their diet, and that's about it. They weren't working a normal job. It was very hard for me to compete or be at par with them. So I had to make a wise and mature decision to let go of boxing, because I couldn't keep getting hit in the head and risk me losing the ability to speak and think by getting head injuries and stuff like that. So I had to weigh up, is it really worth me trying to continue to push and force this goal, this dream of mine, when my health could be at risk in the future? So I made the choice to walk away from the sport of boxing. And that's a big step for me, because I had full confidence in myself that I'd be able to get to that point B that I was trying to get to. But what I had learned is that the reason that I wanted to do boxing or be up there in the first place and be really, really good at it is because I wanted to inspire and motivate people through my words, through my interviews. And I thought, okay, cool. If that was the core and the meaning of the whole mission in the first place, it wasn't just because I wanted to punch people in the head and wanted to learn how to fight and stuff. It was, I wanted to do something bigger than myself within the meaning of inspiring others. So I said, okay, well, I may have stopped boxing, but how can I do that still navigating towards that dream and goal? I don't have to change the dream at the core of it. So learning that we can use social media now and YouTube, we can now make videos and speak about whatever we want to speak about and teach whatever we desire to teach. And so this gives me the opportunity to be able to create a YouTube channel, do what I love to do, say what I want to say, navigate everything the way I want to navigate it, and grow big and become a leader in the future. So I mean, at the end of the day, boxing had taught me and grew my character in a lot of areas of my life. And so at this age now, at 24, I'm a way more disciplined, developed, hardworking, ambitious young man than I wouldn't be if I didn't pursue that career in boxing in the first place. The big lesson here within that story is the fact that you may, at 15 years old, at 16 years old, have a big dream and a goal that you are truly motivated and you believe in yourself for. But when you get older, you realize the variables that come into play and also the priorities that will then enter your life at a certain age. And you will then have to weigh up sometimes, is it worth or smart to continue to pursue this thing, or is it smarter to navigate it and go in choose a different vehicle? The vehicle that I had chosen when I was younger to then inspire people was to be a professional boxer. That was my vehicle that I had chosen, to be able to reach a big amount of people, to inspire, to teach, to help. Now the vehicle is a YouTube channel. The vehicle is now different. Now I'm not fighting in front of a crowd or whatever, but now I'm speaking my truth in front of an audience to some extent. And when I eventually begin my public speaking and start speaking at schools and events and stuff like that, that'll be a different story, and there'll be nothing that could be something that I could add to my career. And that's the exciting thing, that's the cool thing, is that you'll learn as well that there's a saying, everything happens for a reason, and it just is one of those things. Everything does happen for a reason. I'm someone that is I plan things out, I fully back myself, and I just believe the things that I will believe, and I continue to do that even now. I even think now to this day that I will be a leader in New Zealand and a big leader in the world, and that's just the truth that I'm fully confident in. The version of Eden that continues to think big ambitious goals and believe in them wholeheartedly will never be gone. And if for yourself, that doesn't mean that within this next journey that you cannot believe in it wholeheartedly. It just means that you have learned that the vehicle may change and your fuel for that vehicle may change too, and your reasons and your why in regards to your fuel and your push to want to do these certain things may change. Your reasons to why you do the same things you do now from 5 years time might be different, and that's the beautiful thing about life. So the wisdom I give to you, if you are a young man watching this video, is the fact that things may change. Things will most probably will change. The reason why you think you do what you do now will change when you're older. What you may do might change, and your priorities might change too. And that's just the thing about growing and going through the levels of life, and it is a very, very awesome thing, by the way. And now that I know that things can change, I'm very excited for what things may change in my future, and I'm very hopeful for the things that may evolve in 10 years time as well, in 5 years time, even if in a few years time. So that's the exciting thing. If you've gained anything from this video, I hope you have. I appreciate you, I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.